streaming now, so it's going to be coming up in a second.
Does this mean we're live?
Yeah. Yeah, we're live now. You should see it. I'm going to press like for me there, so I need it. I need to make sure.
Will do.
Hold on.
Mr. 1K.
My voice is coming through, yes.
Mr. 1K.
All right. I just don't want to sound like
Nice background.
I don't want to sound like I'm in the distance. Excuse me.
Check the audio. Test the audio. Make sure
we're live stream, right? My burps. Burps to astonish. Trademarked. All right, cool. We're ready to go. Let's get going. There's only 2 of us on the stream, so that's you and me. Hello, myself, and hello to Brian. Anyways, this is for the post stream. For any of you guys that decided to check the stream out, we're gonna make it 30 minutes. I'm gonna set the timer, and I'm setting it now.
Let's go.
30 minutes.
Hello, other person who's on there. Just wanted to welcome you to the stream also.
Hello there. Anyways, thank you for joining my live stream. My name is Ronnie. Welcome to News So Astonished. Today we're going to be discussing the future of the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, since the Disney Fox deal is closing and approaching ever so soon. And that, what I mean by that is that it's going to be finalized this summer. So I just want to kind of like, talk about it and discuss about the X-Men in the future and where should they be appearing first, and when and where can we expect to see them.
Well, I'll tell you what you can't expect.
What?
As you can see right over here in the background, Missy from Game of Thrones, who plays Jean Grey.
Yeah.
I'm pointing the wrong way, right? It's over there. My bad.
Yeah,
but anyway.
You're right to my left, I guess. I don't know.
Her.
Hey.
Yeah.
I don't think the stream. Thanks for joining.
Right. I don't think we're gonna see her. That Dark Phoenix movie that Fox was gonna release, it got pushed back, and it seems like it got pushed back.
Yeah, but like, you mean Fox was going to release it? Like, because I think that movie's still coming out in June or July or something, right? I don't know the date because I don't care and I'm not gonna see it. Fox knows that like people are aware that the deal's gonna go through, so Fox knows that they don't have high expectations for this next X-Men movie that's coming out.
But it got pushed back for after Disney, everything should finalize. So therefore, technically, it won't even be Fox's. And I'm pretty sure Disney is not going to release it.
Hey, we got 5 people on the stream. Guys, thank you for joining. Please press that like button. I appreciate it. Comment, too. And that way I can see what you're saying on the stream.
Yes. Actually, quick question for the 5 people watching. Yeah. Do you guys think that New Mutants and Dark Phoenix is actually going to appear in theaters? Granted that Disney finalizes the deal with Fox before it comes out, you think Disney's going to release it? Yeah. I'm curious what you guys think.
Yeah. So if they chat, the chat lock will appear on the side right over here. So just waiting for them to say something. And actually, let me type something real quick to see if it shows up on the side. But go ahead. What was your question again, Brian?
I was asking whether or not anyone viewing this thought that the Dark Phoenix and the New Mutants movies, which Dark Phoenix is already done, and New Mutants, I think, was wrapping up. I wanted to know if any of them think that since Disney is going to own those movies by the time they are to be released, if Disney is going to release them.
You know what? That's a good question. I guess we're going to have to wait and see for that because it's weird. Like, hey, Manzi, thanks for joining. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while either. I haven't heard from you. Yeah, but that is a good question. I honestly do not know. Like, when like the property is released for the X-Men for the Fox movies, it might be released as Disney property, but I honestly don't know. That's a good question.
Okay. My thoughts are they probably won't, because once Disney takes a hold, everyone's going to think it's part of the MCU, and I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige does not want to let Fox's rendition of the X-Men be in the MCU.
Yeah.
Even if it's a different universe, which that could be an option. Maybe it's not. I don't even remember what Earth the MCU is, but Earth whatever the MCU, not the same universe as the MCU.
I think I know what Earth the MCU is. It's Earth 99,999.
That might be it.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous. Actually, it's 19,999 or 99,099. I don't remember.
It's a series of 9s.
It
Anyway,
is a series
that's
of 9.
enough.
It's the truth.
As you said, I guess that's enough for a movie we probably won't even get to see. But oh well, poor Sansa from Game of Thrones.
Anyways, so let's talk about what, when, and where are the can the X-Men appear, and what movie? I mean, because now we're getting used to the fact that characters are making their debuts in other characters' movies, like a comic book, in other characters' comic books, and that we find that really cool. Like they're pretty much established already, then they move forward with their own movies. So let's talk about that.
Okay. So what I think, unless you wanted to go first, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to hijack.
No, it's fine. You go first. I have.
Okay. So what I think is the X-Men did not start in someone else's comic in the comics. I think they shouldn't start in someone else's movie unless it's the Eternals.
Probably, yeah. Well, Wolverine appeared in the Hulk's comic first.
True. I just meant the X-Men, the actual X-Men, #1 X-Men.
Yeah.
It was the first appearance of many, but you're right. A lot of the popular X-Men that we know.
Yeah.
Well, no, not a lot. I was going to say, but Wolverine, like you said, did appear in the Hulk. 181 or 180.
Yep. And that's a very expensive comic. But
yes.
For the future of Marvel movies, too, where do you think the X-Men should appear?
Like, so as I was saying, maybe the Eternals, because maybe that can explain what the mutant gene is. Because we're gonna learn maybe about the Kree and the Skrulls of Captain Marvel.
Excuse me.
Which, and as we mentioned in the previous stream that we were in just an hour ago, you can check out my channel. I'll just do that quick little plug. The Eternals are gonna be getting a movie, and I think the Eternals with the Kree and the Skrulls, I think that can help explain what the mutant gene is and messing with the human DNA. Yeah. I think that would be a good way, because I think cosmic is going to be a big factor in things. I think a cosmic should be a big factor in bringing in the Fox properties, so including the Fantastic Four.
Will be spread out. The mutant genome will be spread out. It'll be known as the X gene once it's discovered on Earth, but it'll start from the Eternals, and thus, pushing out the origins of mutants in this case. Like in future movies coming out shortly before the summer, I mean, they might reference that, but they won't call it mutant genes or mutant genome or X gene or whatever. They'll call it something else before they give it a name.
I think that would be a great idea, not to name it right away. That way, technically, it could be Inhuman.
Also, they understand it better, right?
Technically, but that way, that saves them face to hold off calling it anything until after the ink has dried on the contract. Exactly. Then they could say, "Oh, that's the X gene. They're mutants."
Yeah, we've been studying this gene for quite some time, and we've decided to call it the X gene. Bam, or the mutant genome or something.
Yes.
That'd be cool. And basically it's characterized as people who are born in nature with these special abilities, and they've already been around for quite some time. Like, for example, the Scarlet Witch and the Quicksilver character, and then they've been mutants the entire time, which is why they have these innate abilities.
Which would explain the experimentations on them, why it was successful at them. It's not that they're Inhumans, because we don't need to call them Inhumans anymore.
Well, Inhumans is from the Terrigen gas.
Yes, and
that's already been established from the Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. By the way, season 6 is coming out this year, so it's pretty exciting.
Yes, and Kree, which we'll get to see with Captain Marvel. But just, that's what I meant. The fact that people have tinkered with human DNA and cross-species, whatever. But I think that could explain the X gene as to why X-Men haven't been here the whole time. But before we continue, I'm just curious if anyone in the chat can let me know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
and Ronnie well?
I can hear you. And I can hear you in the stream as well. I'm monitoring it pretty well.
What about you?
There's one other person watching, but not saying anything. And I think I know who it is. But anyways, let me let my cousin know and see if he can join the stream.
Okay.
in real time. Goshen's game, my cousin.
Because I was just curious if Manzi can hear both of us well. But anyway, to continue, I didn't mean to stop the conversation.
No problem.
So yeah, tinkering with the DNA, or just the way that the universe is going to change after the snap, might be able to bring a reason for mutants to have been here, or to now.
The snapshot will change everything, and maybe another snap just to bring back people will also cause to bring upon mutants. I think.
Yes, or it could be an inexperienced person who wields the gauntlet might not do it perfectly and might cause a mutation in some people's DNA as they try to bring them back.
The snapshot would also, the snapshot would bring the people that were killed, but it will also cause to, like, maybe, let's say, mutate. Oh, I need to be a little bit louder? Okay, hang on a second. Can you guys hear me a little bit better now? AE07, can you hear me better now? Because I'm coming in hot on my end.
I hear you louder on my end when you went closer to the mic.
How about now? Do you hear me? All right. He says
looks like we got a thumbs up.
He says it's
Speaking
better.
of thumbs up,
yeah.
Anybody out there watching this live stream, if you're still there, why not give it a thumbs up?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate the thumbs up. Oh, look, we got another one. It's 4. I had 3, now I have 4. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Anyways, let's continue. Where were we on topic? We're already 11 minutes into the video.
Okay.
Let's see. So what was the question again? I'm sorry. I got off track because I was trying to adjust the volume.
Last thing you were asking was, where do we think that the X-Men should come in? Now, I don't know if you want to switch it to
first
the
appearance of the
Four.
X-Men. I think another major Avengers big, like another major what do you call it? Group adventure, like another Avengers film or anything like that.
Yes.
Maybe Secret Wars can bring upon the X-Men, but I don't think we're going to be getting that anytime soon either. Perhaps the discovery of the mutant gene in a film coming up in the next 3 or 4 movies. But because the Fox Disney deal will be closed this summer, it'll be done. But we probably won't get the X-Men to appear on screen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not this year, potentially the latest 2021.
That makes sense.
I think late 2020 the best, but 2021 guarantee mostly.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. But what if the X-Men kind of were in hiding? How do you feel about that idea? Like the X-Men, they're here, or maybe they'll be here when after Endgame, Avengers 4 Endgame ends.
Yeah.
That the X-Men are there, they're just in hiding.
Like, I don't know how to feel about that because it wouldn't make any sense. Like, why would they hide if they know all this chaos going around the world is happening? Wouldn't they appear to do something about it? It's just weird, And then again, it's a big world, and there's a lot of things that are happening in the real world that we don't know about, but seem to be like a real major big issue, but we just aren't aware of it. So, I would say it would be hard, kind of hard for them to hide because we probably pick them out in plain sight.
Well, what if it's because the population growth of the mutants is small enough that Charles Xavier is able to quickly pick them up before they get discovered
take care of them
mind wipe anybody who sees somebody.
You're right. He's using Cerebro probably, and probably like altering their minds and what they saw.
Yes,
so that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I mean, for now we could probably have them introduce like the concept or the idea of the X-Men as like sightings, like pictures, not substantial proof, but at the same time, pictures that, also cause concern, where like whether these things, like these people are real or not.
Yes. Because I think the X-Men would be an exciting topic to introduce into the MCU.
Definitely. Yeah.
Not just for the adventures that they have, but just to
excuse me.
Just to bring another element, just as people are getting upset about feminism with Captain Marvel, I can't wait to see what they have to say about the X-Men being in there, because that's what the X-Men represent. People being oppressed.
It's an analogy of or a metaphor for like racism back in like the 60s and 70s.
Yes.
You know.
So
Deadpool made that reference in the second movie, by the way. It was funny. I got this fly in here. I can't seem to get it out of here. But anyways, yeah. That's something to think about, definitely. And now speaking of Deadpool, so as some of you probably have watched my videos, I talked about how like Deadpool is going to be okay moving forward with, even though Disney is taking that property, but they're not putting their hands on it at all. Fox is going to continue making rated R Deadpool movies, but still under the Disney House of Mouse, so that's going to be okay. But where would he fit into the continuity? And if he would fit into the continuity, would fans and audiences alike be okay with him appearing in MCU movies, but like he'd be kind of like censored only for those movies, and then when he goes back to his own movies, he's all full-blown Deadpool, hardcore, cursing and stuff like that?
That is exactly how I would imagine it. I imagine that it would probably be the way they're doing it with the Fox right now. When Deadpool's in his own movie, he will only have small, obscure characters join him in his movies that don't matter. Like, Spider-Man's not going to join Deadpool in a Deadpool movie.
But Deadpool
also, Tom Holland's too young. So that Deadpool can be all rated R in his movie, but then when he appears in the MCU... Mm-hmm. He'll be censored, and that's something he might, as you've talked about before.
Something he can mention about, where like, yeah,
he can curse.
I'm in this film now, but it's too bad I can't be my own self, you know, because I'm under the Disney brand, and then when he says something like it'll bleep, and that's part of the joke. It's meta, so the audiences will know that he's still himself. He's just censored for the sake of the MCU. And that's okay, because when he goes back to his own gig, his own movies, he's back to the way he should be.
And honestly,
that's just an idea that I had, you know. And I think it would be cool. And also, it's a good moment to bring more comic book elements of Deadpool into the MCU. Because, like, Deadpool can see, like, maybe yellow speech bubbles, and he can address them like, oh, hello, speech bubble, where have you been? And, like, every time he curses, like, he would say, oh, yeah, every time I curse, this beeping sound appears. Like this. Shit, and he goes beep. Like, that'll be cool to do. That it's an idea. It's what gives Deadpool character, and that's who he is. He's very
he needs that.
He acknowledges
that.
Yeah.
And with him being so meta and fourth wall breaking, I think the way I thought of it was more like, as soon as Deadpool walks onto the screen, all you see is pixels, pixelation. Like, he's not even on the screen, and when he talks, only 1 out of every 4 words is not beeped. Whether or not it's a cursor, like, it's House of Mouse, it's Disney, it's Mickey.
Yeah.
They're over censoring him, so he says.
I mean, he can still be pretty grotesque even if he's censored. Like, he can still get away with certain adult jokes.
True.
But without using ultimately, like, without using a lot of bad words per se. Like, you can say, like, even the MCU movies still say the occasional bad word, like, you know, shit, damn it.
Yes.
You know, and all that stuff. Like, he can still say those things.
Don't say too many, though.
Yeah. Not too many. They don't say as many as compared to, like, let's say, like, you know, the Netflix series, which we're going to go ahead and segue to in a moment. But, yeah, I mean, Deadpool can still be an adult and still be crude, you know?
I think not for his first one. That's why, I'm sorry, what I was saying was that he would be overly censored so that you don't even see him. You just see the yellow thought bubbles, and all you hear is him eventually say, okay, fine, I promise for the next however long the movie is, I'll be on my best behavior.
Yeah. Like he does in the comics, he addresses that too. Like, I promise I'll change, and he doesn't change because it's complete bullshit.
Yeah, no, and then in his last scene of the movie, he just goes, and then it cuts to black.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, there's that idea for having Deadpool to come into the MCU, and then, you know, having him go back and doing his own thing without being censored at all. And as for the Fantastic Four, now, because we talked about the X-Men and how to introduce the idea of the mutant gene and how to introduce them in general, and maybe the possibility of where they've been the entire time. So we've addressed all that. Now, the Fantastic Four. Now, I've heard a lot of ideas around. There's this one guy on YouTube that I follow, and I can't remember. I haven't seen a video of his in a while. He had this idea that the Fantastic Four should be like a time travel thing, where like they come from a different era in time, and they just come forward into our generation. Where
Okay, so they're from the past.
they're from the past. Somebody had that idea where like Reed Richards is experimenting with time because he's such a genius, and
Yes.
like they were just getting off their mission where they got their powers in like a NASA space shuttle, and
Yes.
they come through a portal. They crash on the Brooklyn Bridge. I think like this is idea that I'm referring to like somebody that brought this idea up. I can't remember his name, and I wish I did so I can credit him correctly and properly in this stream. So like Reed Richards, they get their powers. They open a portal in time, I guess, after they're trying to leave the accident that they just had. And a portal opens on the Brooklyn Bridge. The NASA shuttle comes through. They crash land, and like it's supposed to be a scene that's at an end credit scene for a Marvel film. And then you see them coming out of the shuttle in the smoke, and like Reed Richards is like kind of stretchy and saggy, and like Sue Storm is like kind of like glitching a little bit with like the invisibility.
Yes.
And like you see like a hand of the Thing, and like Johnny Storm is on fire, and it just cuts to black. That'd be really cool. And they're from a different era where they don't understand the slang and terminology of this era. They only know the era of the 60s. And
Yes.
it'll be like, people out of time, just like Captain America is someone that's out of time. And it doesn't, by this point, it doesn't sound far-fetched because we have storylines that we didn't think would make it to the big screen, like Infinity War and Civil War and some other stuff. So, I mean, that was like an idea that I heard, and I'm like thinking, that's pretty interesting. What do you think?
Well, originally, I would have said that they needed to be trapped in space.
The entire time? Kind of like...
they could have been in the negative zone or...
negative zone is a big thing in the Fantastic Four comics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or they could have been trapped with Annihilus in... Where is he? Wherever he is. And the point is they finally make it back.
And they don't age.
Yes, because time's different where they are. But when I was hearing what you said, I was like, oh snap. What if... And you said it takes place in the 60s. I was like, what if the moon landing was faked? Neil Armstrong never made it to the moon. And the reason why was because a rocket did leave Earth, but it was the Fantastic Four. And they got into some real trouble. And the government trying to hide it said, oh, we sent a man to the moon. And Neil Armstrong is the astronaut. He faked it, but really the Fantastic Four were off, not aging. And then they come back. And same thing, like you said, crash into the Brooklyn Bridge because, of course, they have to be in New York.
Yeah, definitely. And that also brings me to the next question, and it's still Fantastic Four related. Who do you think is buying the Avengers Tower? Is it Norman Osborn or the Fantastic Four? And like we're only approaching closer. And I hear that the second Spider-Man movie, Far From Home, will probably answer that question at the end credit scene. So there's nice rumors flying around about that.
Okay, so here's my thoughts on that. The Norman Osborn thing, because actually I heard this from...
Let me know your comments down below, guys. Those of you that are watching, please. I'd like to hear your ideas about who could be buying the Avengers Tower in the Spider-Man movie. There's a lot of rumors going around, and let me know what are your thoughts. What are some good ideas for the Fantastic Four to be introduced, and good ideas for the X-Men? Like, I'd like to hear your thoughts. I know you guys are watching. Don't be shy now.
Okay, well, with the purchase of the building in New York, the way I see it is not having anyone listed as the purchaser is great because that allows it to be the Fantastic Four, but Disney not to say it's them until once again the ink is dried.
Yeah.
Because Far From Home won't be coming out till late summer.
I think it's coming out in July.
Later summer. Okay, not as late as I thought, but okay.
Avengers Endgame comes out April. Captain Marvel comes out in March next month, and
beginning of the month.
Far From Home Spider-Man kicks off Phase 4 on July.
But the point is, Disney should have Fox properties by then, so therefore,
July, late summer, mid to late summer, yeah.
It would take nothing for them to quickly, once everything is settled, to say, okay, let's go with it's the Fantastic Four, because they could film different scenarios. Norman Osborn, which I don't know about that, introducing more Spider-Man characters, but I mean, why not, right?
Right.
Because if Sony's gonna stay in San Francisco, they don't need Oscorp in New York.
Yeah.
But it could be Norman Osborn. It could be Black Panther. That's the money. I'm touching. Emergency Awesome went through this, and I'm touching on because I heard him say it. But Black Panther was one of the ideas, and the Fantastic Four, of course, their return they could buy, and it could be the Baxter Building. But other thoughts.
I definitely
It
wanted
could
to be
be.
somebody else though.
It could be Danny Rand coming in and making a home for the Netflix people in the
Jesus
MCU.
Christ, dude. A Defenders movie?
Yeah, could be them. Could be
Yeah.
them. They're coming up in the shadow of the Avengers.
Well,
Take
now
over
that
the
we
old
have
Avengers.
excuse me, now that we have like about 6 minutes or 5 minutes left, that allows us to segue into like the Netflix cancellation news. I'm sure a lot of you guys that are watching have heard the news about The Punisher and Jessica Jones being canceled.
The last of the Marvel shows.
The last of the Marvel shows. The last of the ragtag Netflix Marvel shows. The bunch have been terminated. Well, it doesn't mean that those characters no longer exist, because you just can't make characters a non-existent unless you're Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. But those characters, like a lot of the writers and producers have stated, when they were canceled, is that they're hoping and they are excited to bring those characters into future projects. And
Yes.
that gives us a lot of high hopes, honestly. So I'm looking forward to these characters appearing in future projects. However, the only thing is that like after like the cancellation of their shows, they won't be able to appear on anything for like another 2 years at least. So I think they should appear in movies. I'd be happy if Hulu got the rights to have their own shows on Hulu. I'd be really happy with that. But I also want to
think
see
that's
them in
likely
part of the
where it's
continuity with like the Marvel films.
I think Hulu's the best bet.
Yeah.
Once Disney has Fox's shares, I believe Disney's going to be a major majority shareholder in Hulu. I'm not
definitely.
sure, but I think that's what it is.
Well,
So I think Hulu.
didn't Disney buy Hulu as well? Or-
Yes, Disney already has shares in Hulu.
Yeah.
And then once they take over Fox's shares, that's why I say I think between theirs and Fox's, that Disney might become the majority shareholder of Hulu. So why not? They'll have their streaming service, which is going to be open to all ages, and Disney has their vaults with their classic Disney movies. So I could understand not wanting to taint that with adult themed things such as the Netflix shows, but not all of them have to remain so adult themed.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist, they don't and Defenders, they don't have to be rated R. I don't think those have to be.
No,
of course,
not
I'm
even
an
Iron
adult
Fist.
and I don't mind mature content, so I
Yeah.
want it, but I don't think those three have to. Daredevil technically doesn't, but I like the fight and the blood, so
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
Daredevil
gonna
comics
vote
are
for-
pretty brutal, anyways, with violence, regardless.
Yes,
So
for that reason, I think
the way Daredevil was in Netflix was just perfect. It was a perfect balance of everything,
Yes,
Um,
but I think Daredevil had an MA rating though.
yeah, it had all of them. All Marvel Netflix shows
Yes.
has the M
But-
rating. Excuse me, mature.
But I'm saying I don't think that's necessary.
No,
For
it's not to make
Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and
To
Iron
make it-
Fist.
to make it a
Just
good show?
Punisher and
Yeah.
Daredevil.
And the Daredevil stuff, especially, is actually inspired from the Frank Miller stuff. You can actually see it all over.
Yes.
So
yes.
Frank Miller's probably the best Daredevil. That's like when Daredevil took off, and it was at its high point where it got really popular. Frank
Yes.
Miller.
Yes, because actually, so I've been talking about this on my channel for months, but I'm actually working on it now. Because I've been saying, oh man, I want to go over Frank Miller's run on Daredevil
Yeah.
for like a little book club, and
We got
finally
another-
doing it.
We got somebody else that joined. Thanks for joining, whoever you are. Please say something in the comments so I know who you are, and if you're there, please, I appreciate that. 6 people already. Excuse me, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. We're just about to finish the stream. Oh, good. You're using up here in this time. Oh, that's Chris, my cousin.
As you can tell, yes.
It's my cousin. Hey, yeah.
Thank
Hey,
you.
7 people watching.
Oceans.
Now
Thank
everybody
you
starts to
for
come
the
in. We got like
advice.
another 3 minutes left. We are making the stream about 30-something minutes long. Yeah, Goshen's. Chris,
Thank you
you were absolutely
for the
right. The appear in is such a great. It's better. It's not laggy like Discord is. It's ridiculous. This is so much better. But yeah. Anyway, what were we saying? You were saying. What were you saying?
I was just doing another plug that you were right about Frank Miller, and I've been wanting to do a video on Frank Miller's Daredevil, which you can see with what I'm doing, the comparison between it and Daredevil, especially this last season.
Yeah, definitely.
So I can't wait to have that done. It's expected to be released finally the end of March. It's gonna take me till March. I mean, because I haven't even finished reading. I didn't read all. I haven't read it all before.
Well, a lot of the stuff that I read for Daredevil and like to get me ready for like, you know, for instance, I love this shirt, by the way. To get me pumped up for like the Daredevil shows that recently came out, I picked up a lot of the main core, like important, awesome, well-known Daredevil comics. Excuse me, from Daredevil's from Frank Miller's Daredevil, like the Born Again storyline, and what's it called?
Well, he did a lot. Elektra is Frank Miller.
He did Elektra as Frank Miller. Yeah, of course. There's Born Again is actually one of the most important ones to read, and that was heavily inspired from, you know, the third season that came out for Daredevil, which is like the best season ever, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, I read a lot of Born Again.
I really like this last one.
But I have a lot of the novels for
Man Without Fear.
And also I read Man Without Fear and Born Again mainly. Yeah.
Yes. So I don't want us to run out of time, but
we got 2 seconds.
I know.
Done. Bye. All right. Yeah, but that's about it. That's already been 30 minutes now. But yeah. Anything else that you want to close out with?
I just want to thank everybody for agreeing to join us on this.
Yeah.
And you guys just missed it. Did my own live stream about an hour ago, but don't worry, you can still check that out. Just look up BMA Comics Con and you can see that.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for joining, whoever you all are. You guys are really shy. You don't say anything. You're just watching. You're lurking. Anyways, thank you all guys for joining. I appreciate, you know, this has been a really fun topic to discuss. The anticipation is just killing us. We really want the X-Men and the Fantastic Four to come back home where they belong, because those are the only two that are missing. DC has all their characters. DC has them all. They never had that.
It doesn't even do good things well.
Yeah, it doesn't even. Well, Aquaman and Wonder Woman were fantastic, and Aquaman was better.
Solo movies.
Yeah.
Those are solo movies. That's
yeah,
not team movies. But that's my point. They can't
even. DC is. You can tell DC Warner Brothers. They've listened to the feedback and they're doing better. Like they're putting a lot of more joy and brightness to their characters. And Aquaman's not really such a dark character, so. But anyways, I don't know why we're talking about Aquaman. I just want to just prove a point. That's why I did. So anyways, I'm going to close.
Sounds like that's a possible topic for next week. So
yeah. So this stream is going to be available to watch post stream. You can watch the entire stream if you missed anything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments once this stream posts on my channel. It'll be available in a couple hours probably. Watch the whole thing if you want. Let me know what are your thoughts. What are your ideas about how to bring the X-Men and Fantastic Four over? You heard our ideas and our thoughts and maybe our theories on how to get them over, but I'd like to hear your thoughts as well. And also check out my latest video that I did earlier today. Got released. It was the news on the cancellation of The Punisher and Jessica Jones. I talked briefly about how the cast reacted to that set of news, and I discussed about how it was actually expected and it wasn't a surprise. I actually found this out on Twitter where John Berthold posted a tweet, you know, saying his goodbyes and how thankful he was playing as the Frank Castle's The Punisher. And I'm like, oh, great, Punisher's already canceled. And it was no surprise at all. I was not in shock. I mean, it's no coincidence. It was a month later after the second season came out. So
yeah,
they wanted to it was a month. A month is a good time frame for like the show to like, you know, settle down. People have watched it by then. And, you know, now they're going to miss it. And Jessica Jones Season 3 is still arriving. It's coming out this summer, I think. And right after that, the show's over. So, but anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Brian, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. You're down below, so I'm just pointing at you down below. Thank you for joining me.
No, thank you for having me.
It looks wrong from this angle,
I appreciate
by the way.
it.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for joining the stream. It's always fun to do these things. I love live streaming. And guys, I hope you guys that are watching have gotten used to my upload schedule. I am uploading daily now. So remember, podcast Tuesday. Wednesday is game night, so a video game could be. I'm going to be uploading a video game gameplay tomorrow, and I won't say what, but it's always
Spider-Man.
It's not going to be Spider-Man. It's going to be a surprise. It's a surprise. It's an indie title, I'll say. So gameplays every Wednesday, podcasts every Tuesday, videos every day, live streams every Sundays. So please stick around, guys. Thank you for watching once again. I'm sounding very repetitive right now. I sound like a broken record. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you guys all in the next comic panel.
Brian out.